Okay, so 6:49 on the 23rd, Friday, which I'm going to drive to town again today. I have something I'm going to go return, and it's like, it's crazy when you order something online and you live rural, and then you have to go return it. You got to go all the way to town to return it. So I gotta, I'm gonna go back and do that today. And yesterday morning, his dogs sleep a lot in the morning. They were conked out. So I ran to town yesterday. So, I don't know. Maybe she's getting more used to it. She's not having so much anxiety now. But anyways, I feel like, fuck, I feel out of it. I feel so, I don't know what it is. If it's like to just be in this, sleepy state all the time or something, which was weird too, is because, so last night when I start to go to bed, then the dogs are all just sitting there snoozing away. They're just snoring away. This is every single night. The exact same thing happens every single night. So I turn off the thing, turn off the light, plug my phone in, and lay down. And right away, Stella starts panicking. And she starts getting up and panting. Well, before, she was laying in my spot. And so I had to move her. And she was just laying there, just snoozing away. Once I moved her, then she started in with the whole thing that happens every night. And so she's whining and all that stuff. But it was weird is because I was laying there, and before she had started whining, she had just moved. And I was shutting my eyes, and like the second I would shut them, I was out. And it was like, God, this is so weird. I'm like I can just like start to think, and I'm gone. And I know it because every time I get woke up, it's like I get pulled back out, pulled back out. And I was sitting there thinking, like, when I woke up one of the times, because it's like in a split second, and I was like, how can this be happening so fast? I was thinking, what in the world? How am I just conking out in 1 second? And so, anyways, finally did our nightly routine, and we all start going to sleep. And then it went into my every night going into some weird dream world that I don't even, I feel, I've said this for a long time, and I've not changed it. I don't talk about it all the time, but I've brought it up a few times, but I definitely feel like I'm under attack by something. And I know like a lot of people, well, claim in the name of Jesus and stuff like that. But I feel like, if you center or you focus on healing and pulling free from the system, that it like alerts the system or something, and the system keeps trying to pull you back somehow, which there's some weird shit. Like this thing I just heard a minute ago, and I just added it up to see. So this guy did a video, and he said, if you're born before the year 2000, pretty sure it was 2000. If you take the year you were born and the age you're about to turn, it will always equal 126. I was like, how in the world is that possible? That is so weird. No matter what year, and I looked in like I did mine, and it was 126. Then I added, and I went and looked in the comments. It was all different ones, all 126, 126. I was like, what in the magic is going on? Like, that is weird. And so, but anyways, that just kind of, is some confirmation to me that we are in this very contained, controlled environment, this contained, controlled world. And then when you start realizing that it is what it is, and you start pulling free, then it tries to pull you back and pull you back. And to me, it tries to pull you back through like frustration. And that's why a lot of the frustration stuff, a lot of stuff you gotta let go. But also, I just got, I get frustrated sometimes. Like, it is, there's lots of things that frustrate me. Like when I have to bend over and clean up a mess, and the dog comes running up into my face and starts licking it. I find that frustrating. I find it frustrating when I'm trying to go in the other room, and I've got to have everybody go with me. And then they all take their different, you know, like, they'll sit there for a minute, not come back. Like, this door thing frustrates the crap out of me. And I have to keep that door shut, and I have to keep this door shut because of, it's cold as shit. And so, I can't just leave it propped open. I have left it propped open before, but not when it's like 20-something degrees. And I got a horrible headache, too. I can feel it every time I move. And then I've still got, like, whatever, the allergies. And, but anyways, so it's like this. It's not like where I think of it as like, oh, there's devil trying to get me, the demons are trying to get me or something. But it's like this energetic hold that's trying to pull and keep you there. And if it takes the form of an entity or something, I don't know. But it's definitely something that always fucking with me. I try and pick something up and it knocks it out of my hand. Like a weird shit. Like I used to talk about a long time ago. Like I would find knives sticking straight up. Something would come flying over and then a knife would be sticking straight up and stuff. And so I was like, I talked about this years ago because I was in the cabin. And which, was it years ago? Because I've only been gone from there for a year. It seems like I've been gone from there for a long time. Which, I don't remember if I said this before about the HOA messaging me and telling me that I need to pay. And I said, I don't even have that house. And they said, well, on our records, you're the owner of this house. And I said, well, the Whatcom County gave it to the bank. And so she just said, okay, well, you owe us the rest. And so I don't know what she's going to find, but I'm still getting things from realtors and stuff saying how much I could get for my house. And so I think there's still some kind of weird glitch on this whole taking their houses from people. I think that they couldn't do the same thing that they used to do. And then I think there's more interference with their crimes. But the because I know a lot of people think, well, we have to pay. Why? Because they say that's not, I don't agree with that. And then plus once you've paid a reasonable amount, and then it just keeps going and going. Like they're taking people's homes for not paying their taxes and shit. Homes that are paid off. People who are on limited budgets from being retired and stuff. So yeah, it's a scam. It's all a fucking scam. But so and yesterday I got an email from the water company. And before, when I had argued with the water company, they said, oh no, this is our private water. You know, we're not tapped into the sewage of the whole city or something. That they have their own water thing. So I opened this email wondering, what is this all about? So it says I can stop boiling my water now. They've cleared out all of the E. coli and all the bacteria. Their last samples have been cleared. Oh, well, isn't that funny? And I had said before, when I got E. coli, it was from the water that came out of the faucet. And it was the same thing. And I didn't even know what was wrong with me. I was sick as fuck. And I didn't know until the news was saying, oh, there's E. coli in the water. Don't use it. You got to boil it. And so, anyways, but yeah, their water has somehow interfered. And I'm pretty sure that the lady who I talked to, she had told me that they have like a well or something that is the water for that district. So I don't fucking know. I just think, and some of the things too, it's like, is everybody lying to us, or are they being lied to? And so that their lies are believable to them. So they'll argue with you. So do they know the truth? Do they go out there? Are they a part of, the manufacturing or the other the day they drilled the well? Did they watch how they plumbed the whole thing? So they believe what they're told. So, and I am at this point in time where I don't believe shit, man. I don't believe anything that they tell us. It's all a bunch of BS, man. And I saw somebody do a video of this whole thing about, oh, everybody's tired in 2026, which I'm fucking exhausted. I am so exhausted. That the reason is because of a little thing called FAS. Let me see if I can spell it. FAS, is it CISM? Is that how you spell it? I'd have to write it. I can't see it so much in my head, but you know the word. You know the word that they think that the tater boy, the orange tater is, you know what he is. What they think, you know, and that, and what comes along with that. So they think that we are so deep in this, you know, this fash kind of situation that is why we're all exhausted. We're just so exhausted because of all of this. And I'm sitting there listening to this person. And I wanted to say, I think we're all exhausted because of all of this confusion and all of this chaos and all of this division. Like, people don't, they don't know the truth. Like, these people just, they are exhausting. They just keep going and going and going and going. And, which, oh yeah, there was a whole thing about Gavin. So I guess he went to the DAVOS. And one thing about this gathering that, you know, the Tater Boy, he was put up, what is that word? Elevated. And all the people were, all the leaders that were there were just like, oh, he's the best. He's the best. Look what he's done. He's so great. So, which that to me kind of is like, oh, so they've weeded down to more reputable leaders and not just all criminals. But Gavin came, and then he started trying to get everybody to go against Donald, and Donald had this like great speech, and everybody was like so excited and loved him so much, and everybody's just patting him on the back and everything. So it wasn't going the way that Gavin was hoping. So, and I guess he looks like a big zoinker, a big failure, because he of what he's let happen in his place of where he's supposedly in charge. And so, and they're like the highest in homeless and like all sorts of shit and misspending and stuff like that. So anyways, it didn't go the way he wanted, and he had to tuck his tail and go home in shame. And so people were saying like, well, his career's over. And so I don't know, everything is going to keep flipping like that. You know, things are going to keep turning in other directions. And you know, these people, they don't want to see that. They don't get shown stuff like that on their news. They just keep getting shown this ICE thing. And then, you know, you have them going on these public platforms and, you know, trying to gather and to plan crimes against people and stuff. And another one, so a canine dog is at a shelter, and I don't even know why it's there. I don't know what the deal is, but the staff has decided it doesn't deserve food because it is, you know, it's an ICE. It's like, oh my God, these people, they've lost their damn minds, man. They are so eaten up with the disease of hate, and they are so overrun by the disease of ignorance, and they're comfortable with it. They're comfortable in their hateful ignorance. It's the arrogance of the ego. And so they just stay in this, in this attitude of, like them thinking that they're better and they're the ones who really care and stuff like that. And so many more people are talking about now, you know, like, you're trying to keep people here who shouldn't. But then you're, like, I saw one today who was talking about that, and he was saying, but you don't give a shit about the VETs, and not the medical ones, the kind that have to live under bridges, the kind that have the PTSD. And said, you're not out there trying to protect them, but you're out here trying to protect people who came here. And it goes so much deeper than just coming here illegally, because it's so much more because of how they're used by the system here. In other countries too. It's not just here. And so, but more and more people, and that's the wave of change, that's the wave of, and some people do run across that information, and that does kind of wake them up to be like, wait a minute, yeah, what are we doing here? And that's the whole thing, is like, you got to start questioning things. You can't just blindly follow your ego, your arrogance, your fears. Like, you got to stop and think for yourself. And so you see that wave coming in, the more the people keep resonating with you're trying to protect people who are criminals, basically. That's your choice. You're going to go against these people. And then you're online trying to commit crimes. You're online talking about hurting people and doing things and stuff. It's like, it's wacky. And some of these people, like, there was one yesterday I saw, somebody was stitching hers. And I don't even remember what all she was saying. I keep seeing so many of these hateful videos. But she was saying something. And he's like, it's like you don't even realize that you're committing a crime on public forum. And so he starts quoting the little law numbers or whatever of what it is that she is doing. Like, you're committing a felony by doing blah 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 blah, and you're doing it online. And I don't remember what hers was. And there's more weird stuff with Erica. Shocker. Now she is well, to me, she's definitely being exposed as like, they try and create these like Pied Pipers, like Kardashian or something. Somebody who gets all these people to like them, and then they direct people in a certain direction. And it's like, she is the one to try and capture. She's like the netting for the people who are more religious. So we'll pull them into the net. And so she's doing something weird legally. Like, she's doing something that's unprecedented by telling the judge to speed up this trial on this guy, which, talking about speedy trials, this Idaho thing has gotten so much more. I can't believe, because it was such a huge thing. So many people were following. It was like the crime of the century. And so many people were following. So many people were opinionated. So many people believed the narrative. But for a lot of us, we already knew that, like, when they're creating a sensationalized thing, it's bullshit. There's something that they're not telling. There's something more to it. And so yeah, there's way more coming out on that. And it's like flipping people's whole thing upside down. So I knew when my mom was getting so, like, she followed that trial, and she was so glad when that guy, how dare him do all these things. And I just keep on thinking, oh, it's just as reminiscent of the Manson thing. I was like, I'm sure he's just a fall guy, so let's see how it turns out. And so, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to turn out to be a fall guy. And it may even be law enforcement is involved. So I don't know. Because I didn't follow it before. I just see the fallout now. People freaking out. All this new evidence. So, yeah, it's all going to keep having these shifts. But yeah, so Erica come in, well, let's speed this up. It's like, they said usually it's the defense who says that, so that they can't just keep holding their person, but she wants it. So, I don't know. It just seems ludicrous, and I'm sure that guy's like an actor or fall guy, something. It's all BS. And then she's also joined in some other thing, and there's still weird stuff like coming out about her life before. Like, she was this on reality TV shows. She was definitely out drinking and being somebody who she tries to pretend she's not. And so it's all this fake, phony. But then it's like, who knows? Who knows who this person is? Who knows who that person is? Are they even the same people? We don't know. There's so much of this craziness. And I swear to God, there's still video after video after video. These people that just focus on people being the not the right gender. And so now Molly Ringwald, Jan, all the Brady Bunch, those girls are all really born boys. Everybody was just like, It's like everybody, and I just keep on thinking, you guys are being over the top. And who knows? Who freaking knows? You know, who's born what? But the way that everything is like, it's the straight clavicle, which it's always getting me to look at like, my clavicle, well, I don't know, it seems a little straight. And then they're always like, pointing out, oh, see, there's an Adam's apple. Like Megan Fox, she's supposed to be a boy. And all these people, all of them. And then they put these overlays of these skulls over, and if their eyes and everything don't match exactly, then they say, well, it's a boy. It's like, yeah, but you're getting the genes of your dad and your mom. I just remember when I was growing up that people were constantly telling me I look like my dad. I look like my dad. I look like my dad. And then it bothered me. I thought, well, I must look like a boy, especially because of my body style and in my height and stuff. So, which I've shrunk now. It's so weird too. It's because these things that I would be hard on myself as a younger person, and then and now I would appreciate them more. But now it's like flipped. Like now I'm shrunk some. It's like I wish I was back to being as tall as I was. But anyways, even though when I was hating it. But then I had a daughter who looked identical to my dad. I could not believe how much she looked like my dad. Like you'd put their little baby pictures up and it'd be like, oh my God, they look so much alike. And I don't know if it partly was just the blonde hair and blue eyes, but she had like white hair and blue eyes, and my dad had those like white hair and blue eyes. And like he wasn't gray, it was real blonde. And not totally white, but you know, like that really light yellow color. And the and so I don't know, like if you put over the skull thing and stuff, yeah, you know, I just think like some girls could have skulls that they got more like their dads or something. I don't know. I just feel like they're too restricted in their viewpoint. It's like, and why are you so focused on it? What is this big paranoia about, you know, if Molly Ringwald was born a boy or not? Like, I don't get it. Jan Brady, fuck, I wanted to be Jan Brady, and now they're like, no, it's a boy. It's like, you guys are kind of wrecking things. Like, just leave things alone. Just let things be on some of this stuff. On the gender things, to me, it's like, you know, I don't know. It just seems extreme. And there's just such a focus on it. And these videos pop up. And now, it's supposedly now also on TikTok, now America's under control or something. So now everybody's waiting to see, like, is there going to be less restrictions? Are they going to go hard on the censorship? Are we going to be able to talk more freely? Because a lot of people who are being censored believe, you know, in Donald's role in a lot of the stuff happening. And there's a lot of things that are shifting. So it would make sense that the censorship would be lifted so that more information can start coming out to the public and they can start questioning things more. So, you know, we'll see how it plays out. But but there is like, they are like some of these pairings they're doing right now. Are they trying to distract us? Like right now, so Margot Robbie and the guy who is from, I can't think of his name, but he's from the show on HBO that's like total sex show for kids. It's like they're supposed to be high schoolers, and the whole thing is so, oh my God, it's extreme. I watched the first season and I was like, no, this is too much, man. And then plus when you know like the pervs are running the world and how they, it's like, no, this is like programming, and it's like, it's too much. Ethiopia. And I think is no, Euphoria. That's what it's called, Euphoria. And so he's the guy in it. And so he is now, they're doing Wuthering Heights. And Margot Robbie's the girl. And so they're making this whole big thing. And she's married. And she's making this whole thing of like her obsession with him. and she couldn't like function if he wasn't near her, and her knees would get wobbly, and she would always be looking for him and stuff like that. And so I don't know, because when Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson did that redo on Airplane, what was that show? It's like he was trying to be like Leslie Nielsen. It's like Liam Neal, whatever his fucking name, is not. They're not even the same kind of character. It was so mismatched. I can't even think of what the name of that show was. It was like not good at all. I thought it was so stupid. And yeah, those shows were funny back in the day, but I don't know. They couldn't. The jokes just weren't hidden, and then his persona. I don't know. Just the whole thing was not. It wasn't a go for me, and I don't think it got really popular. But they really tried to drive this relationship with Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson, I think is his name. That because now I'm getting confused over Nielsen. It's like, but so they were trying to make like, oh, they're a couple now, and it's so romantic because after Natasha died in their tragic thing, and they were so in love that he stayed single, and he is now him and Pamela have fallen for each other, and now she's no longer acting like a sex symbol. She's being more of a different kind of person, and they were really building this whole thing up. And it was all for just what is that called when they try and get people interested so they'll go watch the movie. That's all it was. It wasn't, they didn't even have a relationship. And which on Pamela Anderson, there is something that constantly to me, I keep thinking there's a skeleton key thing going on with that. If you've ever seen that movie, because her hairdresser her makeup artist, because that's why she said she stopped more makeup, because her makeup artist died. Her makeup artist did her makeup, and she died. And so then she no longer could, she didn't want anybody else to do it, so she just stopped doing it. And so she, brought out this new persona. And then, so then, there's been more things about when you look at this new way that she looks so similar to her makeup artist. It's really, really eerie. And then she's like, a lot of her personality's kind of changed. It's like, ooh, I don't know what the skeleton key is going on. I don't know if that's the original her, or if this lady took her over because her body was going, so she took this one over. I don't know what the hell. And that's why she changed, because her makeup artist she wasn't all done up like Pamela used to be. And so I don't know, is Pamela like set free now that she's decided she doesn't want to play the bombshell anymore? And so now she gets to be free, but why is she so similar to her makeup artist? It's really strange, but I'm not gonna get all caught up in it and try and prove it. It's just like, I'll just watch and see how some of this shit plays out. But but it's odd. Like, that's like my signal when I look at it. It's like, that's so strange. Oh yeah, and in the signal thing, in the psychic phenomena. So there's a psychic who said there's gonna be a big earthquake this week in Portland. And so then one of these earthquake people was showing that there's a whole bunch. Even there was one in Wyoming. They're all over. They're just going boom, boom, boom. There's a 3 in Seattle, right in the heart of Seattle. And they're just flying right now around the Ring of Fire. And then this other girl who, I don't know what she is, if she's psychic or if she's one of those people who looks at, I don't know, I think it's what I do sometimes, but I don't know, like, I don't know what we're all doing, I can just look at things and see things. And so I don't know, remote viewing. And so she said she remote viewed into this earthquake thing. And she said it's going to happen today. She said it's going to happen today, and it's not going to, and it's going to be off the coast in Portland, and it's going to affect. She said only like 50 people will get killed, and it will, and it will wreck a bunch of houses, and they'll be out of power. And she said, and nobody there is prepared for anything. Everybody's been getting prepared over for all these big storms, which then, like Target cleared their shelves before people. There's lots of weird shit going on, like these stores clearing out all their food so that these people can't get prepared. It's like there's lots of weird shit, and of course it's corporate. And but so she said that this is going to happen today, and I don't know. This is just what all these people talk about and stuff. I'm just sharing information, and but the thing is when she says, "Oh, it's just going to be this," that's the thing I don't align with. This is like a domino thing. And when something becomes unsettled, it unsettles. It's like the Jenga game I keep talking about. It keeps creating more holes in like our foundation. And so it is, if it were to happen today, it would still bounce around. Like there's going to be more bouncing, more instability, and I don't know where it's going to hit. I don't know where all it's going to hit next and stuff. I'm not underneath us. I don't see all the tectonic plates, and there's a lot of people who are really focused on watching the rumbling with the charts and stuff, but they're not even telling all of it. So not the people who are watching keep trying to report on it, but the people who are in charge of this stuff keep trying to hide things and changing, like, oh, it was a 7. Oh, no, we think it was a 4.8, keep on changing things and stuff. And then like not saying that one was moving magma. So, which would be volcanic. And so, and that's why I was saying, like, they have volcanoes, like, right in the middle of cities, and we don't know. They put things on top of them, and we're not ready for what's about to blow. Like, who fucking knows, man? Because that's this world that we live in, is all this, this artificial created ecosystem, this created environment to, like, trap us. In the, so anyways, I don't know if this one's going to go. I don't know any of the stuff, what's going to happen. I know that this stuff is coming. I know that these things are going to happen, but I don't know if it's going to be today. That's why every day you just got to, like, be prepared. You got to have some food just stashed, or flashlights or stuff prepared, like, because if the power goes out. And then I also saw somebody else say, and I thought this was a good point, I don't know, but they said, how they keep on, laying lines up in the sky. They said, and I don't remember where they were getting their information, but they said, but I think that they're going in, and so it's a battle up there between the good guys and the bad guys. So they'll do something, and then the good ones will come in and they'll try and counter it. And so she said that there's a back and forth happening up there. And she said the reason that she thinks so was because it was some conversation or something she'd heard, but she said the reason that she was thinking it was true was because they were out there just going to town, and then they turned around and said, oh, there's going to be a huge storm here. And then the other ones, or somebody came in and then went to town again, and then all of a sudden the storm passed them by. It didn't do anything. And so she said it seems kind of like that there's somebody up there trying to stop the stuff they're trying to start, which I don't know. I mean, I know, like, I got the allergies. My dog's got the allergies. Stella's eye keeps dripping and stuff. I mean, we're being affected by whatever it is that they're putting out there. So, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. To me, it's like information to consider, to just, keep your brain stoking on information. Keep thinking about, the things that are happening and possibilities, because it is really easy to get too hyper focused, to zoom in, and that's the only thing, it's got to be this, there's nothing else. It's like, you got to zoom out and see more information so that you can, because I swear to God, a lot of it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what actors are boys and girls, and it doesn't. There's stuff that they focus on. It just doesn't matter. Why does it matter in our world? And I mean, what is it? Shakespeare. They used to all be different genders. I mean, maybe this is a part of the acting curriculum. I don't fucking know, but it is. I mean, they're all playing somebody that they're not. They're all pretending to be something that they're not. There's all a sense of confusion in the whole thing. I think there's even lots of actors who even become confused over them own selves. Which, speaking of actors, this just came into my mind. I totally forgot about this part because I wanted to tell about this dream that I had last night because it was so fucking weird. So, because as soon as she would, I just kept falling asleep instantaneously, and then she would wake me up. So I gave her some more medicine. She went and got in her bed, and then I was out. And then I went into this weird dream where I feel like that, like I have an escort or something that's taking me into these weird fucking dreams, because how do I keep ending up in these fucking nightmares? And they aren't nightmares to like the point of when I was a kid, where I was like felt stuck and like I was really scared and stuff, because I'm communicating with myself in these. And so I'm more lucid in these, but the situations keep being so fucking weird. And so my nose just keeps running and running. And so I don't remember all of this whole thing. And but the actor who was in it was Ben Affleck, which was really strange. And he was a real weirdo. He was like a drunkard or something. I don't know what his deal was. And but it was like I was in a movie. And I even said, because I was like, it was supposed to be like my life, but then I was like, I feel like I'm in a movie. Like, this doesn't seem real. That's the part where I said, like, I feel like I was like lucid. I was lucid in some of this dream, where I would be like, this is weird. And so in this dream, which it was so long and elaborate, and there was a judge, and so I can't remember all of it. I remember this judge giving me some kind of it's like this judge could write, like, he would have this debt, but then the judge would say, oh, this person paid your debt, and it was like this big favor to you or something. And then I don't remember what the debt was. It was odd, because there's more to it in the first, but I can't remember all of this stuff. But then I went, and this the part that I remember the most, the part that where I was like, this is like a scary movie. And so it was like I was like almost like being hunted or something by this person. And I kept trying to get away. And so then there would be these parts where I was like going to make a plan before I would go start being hunted again. It was really weird. Like a movie. Like I was going on, but it was like I was in the movie, but it was like I would go out of the movie and then go back into the movie. But it was like the movie was like the real for the, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was like this mind fuck, I swear to God. And so so on this plan, when I'm outside of this situation, I'm being chased, I'm trying to go to speaking to this judge and stuff, and talking to all these different people. And so then I made a plan that I was going to get acid, and I was going to throw it on this guy when he was trying to get me. So then this other part, I go try and get the acid and stuff. And I'm going, talking to these different people. It seems like that's when Ben Affleck was around this acid thing. And he was just like this weirdest person. And so I went, and I got, so I'm talking to this person, and then they're like, oh, well, look at that they had acid. And it was like I was in this weird old house. And so, and it was like people knew I was being hunted by this person or something. Like it was part of the plot. And so and so this guy was helping me out. And so he goes and he starts pouring it into this jug thing. And then I said I needed it in this little bottle because I need to be able to throw it at this guy. And so he gave me both of these. And the jug looked like this old-fashioned jug. And I said, oh, this is good because then, as a prop, it'll look like it just goes with the rest of the room. He won't be suspicious. I was like, this is the weirdest thing. So I get this jug of this acid. And then I'm going back to this freaking, like, what was that movie called? It was supposedly set in Texas. Chainsaw Massacre. If you've ever seen the Chainsaw Massacre, and they keep trying to go around and hide in this fucking house, that's what this was like. And so I'm trying to hide from this person, but then I can take off and go get props and stuff and go talk to people. So I'm going, and this guy's after me. And then, and I keep replaying this and replaying it. This is another part that seemed lucid because I kept trying to make my plan and just prepare for this thing. And I was going to throw this acid in his face, and then he wouldn't be able to keep coming to get me because he would be hurt. And so I do this, and then he gets hurt. And so then I'm coming out having to face this judge or something. But then it was like this movie. And then I kept having some of the acid. And there kept being this whole like subculture in the movie. Like this whole other thing where I'm like lucid talking and doing things. And trying to figure like, what is going on here? Why is this even happening? And then right when I woke up, it was because I had like a little bit left in the jar, and I sprinkled it over Stella, and then it like woke me up. It was like, why would I do that? And so anyways, it was just the longest, creepiest, scary movie dream. But then it was like I kept going out. And then the whole thing with Ben Affleck being in it, then it made it even more like a movie where I was like, and I don't remember what his weirdo character was, but it was just like in the movie. And anyways, it was weird. It was like I was being pulled into a movie that was going, and I kept trying to get out of it, but they kept trying to hold me in it, which also makes me feel like, what is up with this dream thing? Like I said, it's like I'm being escorted, my consciousness being escorted to this nightly routine of this weird ass shit happening, where it's just like, this is so weird. And it's one night after another, these weird ass things, which is funny because it is like, that's what my childhood was like. Every night was a nightmare. I hated going to bed. I hated going to sleep. Every night was horrible. And then I had the repeat dream. Oh, night after night after night. But, I feel like I've come a long ways on that, because knowing that this big cat is like just right there. And yesterday when I was outside, I looked, and it's like, yeah, this tree is right there. And when I was talking to my brother, he said that when he went down there, so he had been down there, and this wasn't right now, this was last year, I think. And he was down there, and he found this like weird like tunnel. He said, so it was this weird tunnel that went through the like the cattails through the brush. He said it was like too perfect of this tunnel. And he said it was pretty big, and he could go into this tunnel. So he goes into this tunnel and goes to the other side, and he said on the other side of it was all these bones, where he's like, what in the world? He said there's all these bones, like these animal bones, like big animals, like deers and stuff. And he's like, man, this is weird. What in the world is this? And so he was real creeped out. So he comes back, and he sees under the tree, like where the root system is or something, there's a a thing that goes around, so you could go in behind the roots, and there's like this like the den, but it's like the way it's shaped is like a trap almost. And so he at first he didn't know what it was. And so he said he was down there and he was thinking, ooh, do I want to go in there? And then he decided, no, I don't think I will. And he was talking to the neighbor. And that's how he found out that there was a mountain lion. And then he was like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't go in there. It's like, ooh, yeah, he'd be in there trapped, man. And so you wouldn't be able to move around very well but they could. And especially if they're down there like digging and making all of these tunnels and a trap for getting deers or something. So the deers cross the river, that they sit in their little cove, and then they just run out there and grab one and then drag it back over to their entry and then chow down. And then they go back into the den where the little babies are kept. So, I don't know. Yesterday when I was leaving to go to the store real quick while the dogs were asleep, as soon as I walked out, which was still kind of dusky, well, it was like 8:30 in the morning, but there's not been any sunrise here for a long time. And there was a whole herd of deer crossing, and my hands were all full, and I'm trying to get to my phone so I could get a video. I got one, but it wasn't a great one, but I put it on a short. But there was a whole herd of deer going across the driveway, which was like so cool. And so I bet you that there's, my brother said it was probably every morning that they're out there. So I'm going to try and get another video and show. But it was really cool. And I was like, well, I wonder if they're staying up here because they know that cat's down there. And he's like, well, they probably don't even know. But he said once it becomes spring, they'll all start crossing across the river. And he said, so you'll see them all start coming up from by the dock, and they'll all start coming up with their little babies. He said it's so cute. But that must be why that cat has its den down there, so it can catch them when they're coming across and then eat them and feed their babies. But so, yeah, I'm not going down there. But that other time when that mountain lion was around, I was like in panic mode. And that's when I had it was like I was being shown, because it was like this all of a sudden realization of like, oh, Stella was the cat that ate me. She's my spirit animal. She comes and plays these different animal parts to help me learn in my different lives, and I help her learn. And it's a back and forth thing. I had seen about a tribe person talking about animal spirits. Stella, what is it, honey? What is it that you need me to do? Well, God. So dramatic, man. She finished her antibiotic today. So, I don't know. She was still licking down there. But not constant. And I mean, it was very potent before, and I don't think it is. But I still think, I mean, I know her, because she'll just sit there and lick her legs and stuff. So I know her joints are bothering her. The arthritis situation. And she's stiff. Like that. Stuff for inflammation didn't really do much. Like, she's been on glucosamine, and if I stop the glucosamine, she won't be able to walk. And I'm getting another one of the plasma inflammation stuff that I don't know that's doing much. But then when she starts something, it's like, well, but what if it is doing something? And then you pull it. And right now, because of this overcast, cold. I mean, anyone with arthritis knows, like, this is the worst for your arthritis. I know you're not happy, honey. You're such a precious lady. So, I just want to get these med beds. But, anyways, it's out of my hands. So it's like, whatever's going to be is going to be. That's the hard thing about life. It's a hard ride, man. It's not in your control. Nothing's in your control. And everything is about you learning to just accept the ride for what it is, and to go with the flow, and to have your experience and learn from what you came here to experience. But anyways, yeah, but the spirit animal thing is when I had seen about Tribe Person, and he was talking about, you know, it was the wolf that killed me. It was then the no, it was like maybe it was a wolf, but it was like, you know, I've killed it in lives and it's killed me in lives. It just is this back and forth thing because we learn so much from these kind of situations. And so that so yeah, when that other cat was around at my other house, then and I was in panic because of my recurring dream when I was a kid, knowing I got eaten by something, and but then when I was shown that Stella was that cat that killed me, and that she was here in this life to protect me, and then it was just like this aha moment. It was just like this perspective that obviously healed something in me, because this other cat's down there. I'm not gonna go down there and buy it. I'm not gonna go down there and mess with it. But I don't feel panicked. I don't feel like, oh my God, oh my God. It crosses my mind, like I think, but I don't think it would come up here and try and get in the dog's yard. My brother said they're just scared of dogs. They don't want to mess with dogs. And because dogs, you know, will fight. They're not going to just, like a deer is not going to turn around and start biting them and stuff. Deer is going to just get taken down. But the dogs is more, well, even if, you know, because I mean, you'd think if a big cat saw like Archie or Max, they'd be like, oh, dinner, because they're not as big, but they were with Ruthie. And so, but that's when it let out that giant howl. My brother said, he said it was like, my brother compared it to like when you start a V8 engine and it just roars, like, and you gun it and you push the gas down. He said it's just this extreme sound. He said that's what it was like. He said it wasn't just like or it was like it was trying to scare them off. And so it was probably more worried, like they were coming to get their babies. That's why I was thinking, I bet you it has babies then, because if it's more protective. So, because I think if it was, and it's a den that's comfortable, and it was probably comfortable because there was nobody around for a long time. And it was all like, before my brother even put his shop up, even when he put his shop up, they weren't out here. They didn't live here. And, which now it's becoming a barn dominium. But so the yard next door, it is, and that guy's is like 8 acres, and it's just overgrown. It's totally overgrown. And that's where the one tree is that I go do my offerings. And then this one, it was overgrown. And then the one next to it is overgrown, and that one's for sale. And then the one next to it, they live there. And so they're there all the time. And then there's a couple more. So then there's, and those people all live there. It's so, this one, it probably was comfortable because it was pretty, you know, surrounded by nobody being there. It didn't have to go that direction toward the houses. It could go that direction towards more, and who knows how it travels around, you know, at different times. You know, they have their own route. They have their own trails and stuff. And so, but if so if it has that den down there where it was comfortable, and then it was going to have babies, and it went down there to have its babies, which I don't know if it's just like, you know, only in spring do they have babies. I don't know. I don't know what their season of, or if they just have babies when they have babies. I don't know. But because since it's like midwinter supposedly, then you'd think like, well, that would be strange to have babies then. But I don't know. Or maybe she's pregnant and she's preparing, but but if she went back to a place that's familiar, and then she comes back, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, wait a minute, what are these people doing here? Why are these little critters here and stuff? And so her roar was, you know, I think to say, fuck off, leave me the fuck alone, get away from me. This is my home. So anyways, but I'm just going to keep the dogs away from down there, even though it is kind of curious to go down there and see, but I'm not messing with it. It's like, fuck, I don't want to go down there and look in there and see if it's there, try and get a picture. It's so funny too, because there is people who would, There's definitely people like, but I could go viral. I'll go down there, take a risk of getting attacked, because mountain lions, I mean, there's been people who have been stalked and attacked, like out hiking and stuff. So I know that where I was living, because there was a mountain lion around there. Well, obviously it came down my yard, but people would go out and go on hikes with their animals. And I think there was one lady who she went out and it started trying to get her dog. I think she had a smaller dog. I don't know what it was, but it was trying to get her dog. She looks like she was having to like fight it or something. I can't remember the whole story because it was a few years back, but it made me more like, oh my God, because I still would want to go walking in the woods so many times. I'd be like, I don't, at a certain point, I start being like, I don't want to go back there. There's things back there that will try and get us. I don't want to go back there, especially once there start being so much weird stuff. Like, because I do, when I told Crystal in the comments, because it does scare me. Like the supernatural, like where people think it's supernatural, but like these shapeshifters, these dogmen, these different kind of beings from other places that do eat people. And so, like, to me, it's like you don't want to be like ignorant as to what there's things out there that you look like lunch to them. So I want to, you know, and there was, I think it was when there started being like so many there was like a lot of weird stuff going in the sky and stuff, and so I want to go back there and walk. And then plus when you're in the forest, you can hear when you go through different like portals and stuff, when the energy changes and it can suddenly become real quiet and stuff. So there's things that are back there. And especially when you're out in a place where it's mountains and there's forest for long, like thousands of acres of forest, then yeah, there's things out there. And people disappear all the time. So yeah, that kind of stuff freaks me out because it is real and people think it's, oh well, that's not real. Oh yeah, it is. I think that is something that we should be kind of more like, kind of more like the people in the Appalachian. It's like, you don't go out after dark. You don't whistle if you hear whistling. You don't do this. You don't do, like, they have an awareness. Like, there's shit out there that'll get you. Be careful. Watch yourself. Don't be stupid. Don't be arrogant. So, anyways, so we'll see. We'll see, you know, if there's going to be some big earthquake. But yeah, I would think even if the earthquake, like if she's right and it happens right there, Portland coast, which that's, you know, over there's the big one that the scientists have been watching, and they've said that it goes off every like 300 years and it's past time or something. And that's the same on all these different ones. Like California's way past time, but there's a lot of signs, like there's a lot of activity. And so confirmation, so if it starts beefing up, and that's the thing, is like, even if this goes off and tons of people don't get hurt, then it's kind of like a warning shot, like, get the fuck out of there, man, because then it's going to reverberate. It's going to go here, it's going to go there, and it's just going to keep rocking and rocking and rocking until the ground kind of falls or something, till the ground shakes and goes down to the new surface that it's going to be, in order to create the new landscape, the new world that we're going to be in. Because I'm telling you, so there may be remnants of the old world, but it's not going to be, you know, we're not going to be going and all living in LA, you know, like we're going to be building new places. We're going to be creating a new lifestyle. It's not going to be the old one. We're not going to all be, you know, millions of people jam-packed into this city and dealing with traffic and spending their life on the road and having to go and fight for jobs. We're going to be out of the dog-eat-dog world, and that's what all of these bigger cities was created for, the dog-eat-dog world, and we're going to be out of it. So those cities will have no relevance, so they will have to recede. They will go into the history books of the planet. That will go into the place, just how like people are constantly finding things now under the ocean. There's a city under the ocean. They say they think it's 30,000 years old, but it has a playground. They've got, one thing is, you know, if you've never seen all those things that look like statues or something of people in the ocean, and there's certain places where you can like drive over them and see them, and it's really like eerie. All of these people like walking or something under the ground, but they're all like these statues or something. It's like, why would those be there? Why would this be here? And I saw one the other day, and it looked like all the people were chained. So I don't know. I don't know if there was something that happened and then something was petrified. I fucking if I know. We don't know all of our history. We don't know all the truth. But things are definitely a lot more fantastic and supernatural than what we think. And oh yeah, and Crystal had sent me a thing yesterday about the loony bins and how they were created to. I've seen a couple things about this whole thing, and so I mean, there's definitely people who think like, well, for the people who wouldn't agree or the people they need to get rid of, then they start putting up all these loony bins all over the place, and then they got where they had a hold of the kids. And that's where a lot of people think like the orphans came from, was the people that they were capturing and then calling them insane and saying they were dangerous. But it was dangerous to them. It was dangerous for people to know the truth or to tell the truth or whatever. You know, I don't even know. But yeah, it was definitely some weird shit. Weird stuff going on. And so, and who knows how much stuff that we will know all the truth about things. It's just going to keep being more things, I think, to just kind of unsettle the part of you that's stuck, or the part of you that is subscribed to a narrative. It's going to keep being holes poked through the narrative. But I don't know that there's going to be like a whole thing of like all the truth. I think that all the truth is all different worlds, all different things have been here. It's all different realities. We don't have this whole thing of where this and this and this all led to this. It's all snapshots in time and space of different realities, of different experiences, of different times where we've come in to experience. You know, it's kind of like somebody comes up with an idea of like, oh, this would be fun. And then everybody's like, oh, let's go to that one. It's like an invention of a video game or something. Oh, I want to play it. And then we all come to play these different games. So, and so some seem like more primitive and some seem more advanced, and it kind of bounces around because it is really just like these games, and the soul comes to experience these games. And then you know, and in this one we just have this weird thing going on because we're supposed to wake up because we're advancing as conscious beings, and so we're supposed to wake up and question things and let go of all of the past, let go of all of the parts of you that have been here playing these games, and to realign with your higher self or your higher vibration of self, and get back to who you are, who you were in the beginning before you start playing all the games. It's kind of like we're all a bunch of gamers, and we've been playing games so much that we forgot how to live the real world. And so we're kind of going through the steps to pull us back into being able to exist outside of the gaming world. And so that's more of what the ascension is. And the people who can't pull themselves free, they will just continue to play more games. They'll just go in and be in more games until they're ready to pull themselves out of the game and start letting go and realizing like, oh, it's all a game. It's all a big game. It's all a big movie. Nothing's real. It's all manufactured. So anyways, and we do have in the micro macro, we have all these things to prick holes, you know, like, oh, we do have video games. We do have people. They create avatars. They go in and they play these games. You have to level up. You have to, like, everything represents everything else. So then when you start seeing it, it's like, oh, well, that's what we're really doing here. We really are doing this. So anyways, that's what I think. And in this game, at this period of time, we do have to, work on our avatar, work on ourselves. And we do have to shed all of these different parts of us that we have played in order to get to this point in time. And so that is this acknowledgement, this realization of who we've been. And that's the thing, is like where you start realizing, like, you haven't just been good. You're not just the good guy. You're not just the bad guy. You're all different guys. You're all different guys to all different people. And so it's the like pulling yourself into yourself and finding the balance between these sides of yourself so that you can become the best version of yourself. And in this place where the physical is maintained and created, you have to pull out of this physical realm and go more into the spiritual or supernatural realm to be able to understand and to see yourself more clearly. And so it's all of that kind of what's going on. And then but in the process, that's what, it's all about, you becoming the best version of you and learning how to love yourself, learn how to love everybody else, because you can't go to a world that's full of love if you can't give it to other people. And so all of these things happening are giving you opportunities, but then we have all these people who are just so focused on hate and division and thinking in their ego and their arrogance that they're right, they're justifying themselves, planning, crimes on the, like, it's crazy. And which the one, because there's been a couple nurses now who've come out hardcore. And I know one of them got fired. She got fired fast. So, and probably the other one too, because yeah, you can't go and just do this stuff. And so yeah, you gotta mind your business. You gotta, and the thing you want to spread is love. You want to spread love and kindness, not hate. Not spread, just like where I was saying, when you're out there saying you hope these bad things happen to people, it's gonna come back on you. It's like trying to set a spell. And so it's, you don't want to be wishing harm on others. You want to wish the best. Wishing the best is the way you want to go, and that energy will come back on you. So kindness is key. And so you have to learn how to be kind and love everybody and accept everybody. And that's a big thing that keeps coming, is like, you're getting this mad over people's beliefs, over, politics. Like, why can't you just accept people? Just let people be. And why are you so caught up in this agenda that is so created to keep you caught up in it? It's like, so anyways, we'll see how it, how they keep playing this out and how they keep trying to, it is riveting. It's quite riveting. It is to watch it all play out and see how it all, because it's going, man. It's going for sure. But anyways, the important thing is learn how to love yourself, learn how to love everybody else, and learning how to have the day you want. Don't get caught up. Don't get so strung out on all of this BS, because that's what it is. And if you do, that's where you got to look at yourself. What am I so bothered? Why do I care? Why do I care about what this person thinks? Why can't I just accept them? Like, they think what they think. It's like their business. And then the people who are not in alignment, they won't go. It's not like, like if they are really truly hateful people, they won't go to a world of love. It's like the universe, like you can't get through the gates. It's like you won't be able to get in. It's just like it's your own vibration holding you back. It's not like there's a guard there to you. You won't be able to get in because you won't match. You won't be able to fit. So that's why I'm saying, like, we don't have to do the universe's business. It happens naturally. You don't have to decide who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. Their own heart, their own intentions will be their key. So, and that's where you have all these opportunity to really restructure yourself, really look at the things that bother you and start cleaning it up. So anyways, we'll see. We'll see how this continues to play out. Like, there's just constantly shit going on. That's one thing too, though, where it was stagnant, so stagnant for a while. It is kind of like nice that things are, moving, full speed ahead. Things are happening. And So you can like feel the crash coming, you know, it's impending. It's like we're all watching the plane, you know, losing it up in the sky, and we know like it's gonna crash. Where's it gonna crash? And so that's what we're all kind of like, where's it gonna crash? What's gonna happen next? And there's no telling. There's no telling. So anyways, but we'll see. We'll see what this day brings us. Now we're at the end of the week before the weekend starts. So we'll see what this day brings us, and it's a 23. And so we will see what happens, and then we will talk about it in the morning. And then tomorrow is the day. Yeah, I talked to Crystal, and we are going to go live tomorrow. So tomorrow, and you know, could be some big things happening, and we'll talk about them tomorrow. So anyways, but if they do start having these big earthquakes and shit happening, I'll go live so, you know, people can talk about it and stuff. And then who knows what the plan is on this big weather thing that's going on over on the southeast. So I don't know. We'll see. But tomorrow we're planning on going live tomorrow. So around lunchtime. So anyways, I will talk to you 2 times tomorrow. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.